don't actually know what is going on anymore. Just when I think I have technology down to a science, I'm proven to be older than I probably should be. But the good news is it's Thursday. Yep, Thursday. Just want to check, make sure we're good on the Thursday. Otherwise, that'd be 2 shows this week. You are listening and or watching Pwnecast. This is episode 235. We are in patch 8.1, Tides of Vengeance Part 2. Is that how they're calling the 2, right? Okay, cool. Tonight we are going to be talking about a lot of things. The top of that list is going to be what content actually is happening this week, including all the things that you probably already know, but we'll break down the other stuff anyway, just because that's what we do. We are going to be talking about some PvP stuff today that includes a conversation about World PvP that was actually prompted via Twitter, and how selective World PvP kind of ruins it for the rest of us. So we're going to talk about that. I'm sure controversy is going to ensue. We're probably going to make people mad. So, yeah. I don't understand what's going on. People are having issues with the show. Maybe reload. There shouldn't be any hosting. Guys, we're a quality production. Here at Pwnecast. Quality. Guys, we have that and much, much more, so make sure you guys stay right here.
In 2014, a crack commando unit was banned from trade chat for comments they didn't make. These men and women promptly escaped from the Stormwind stockades to the Iron Forge underground. Today, still hunted by the trolls of trade chat, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, then maybe you can hire the Pwnecast. Leader and brains of the operation, it's Belle.
I want tacos so bad.
Betrayer of the priestly order and huntard extraordinaire, it's Remedies.
Then how did you eat it in the first place?
With the Pwnecast team assembled, let the battle for Azeroth begin.
Hello, people of podcast land. This is Winstalin speaking, and Winstead from the Technically PvP podcast, and you are listening to the Pwnecast podcast.
You know, I find it awfully annoying that Twitch just, like, decides, right? It just decides what it's going to do, when it's going to work, how it's going to work. It doesn't seem to mind anything else in my life. It just does. The things, the stuff, and the cha-cha. Guys, welcome back. Happy to see all you fine faces, including Rem.
Yay.
Hi. What you doing?
Wondering why you flip around on the intro now. Like, that was a little weird.
I don't know. We wouldn't be on our phone during show, though, right?
I'm not on my phone.
What is that?
I don't know what it's from. It's from some Disney show.
I'm not going to judge you.
My phone's actually on the charger.
I'm doing this thing where I'm not going to judge you.
Should I sound like this the whole time?
I don't know about that. But,
Anyways.
welcome back if you are new to Pwnecast. I apologize. I actually don't have any apologies, but I apologize for how you may or may not feel, and I'm totally okay with how you may or may not feel. My name is Belle. With me is my co-host with the facial hair most, Remedies, the
No, I'm shaving tonight. Don't worry.
inappropriate priest.
Whoa.
Extraordinaire. I logged into WoW last night, and literally everybody on in the guild was a priest.
That's good.
So
Everyone should be playing a priest.
I said, did I miss a memo? Did something go out that I
Well, I feel the same way when everyone's online on a warlock. I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, like, it was really weird. I don't know. First of all, I heard a rumor that you were trying to warlock.
I'm a little perturbed right now.
Over warlocking? Because I heard a rumor you were trying to warlock.
I'm not trying to warlock. I am.
Probably not very well, but that's okay.
I mean, it's level 28. I can kick anyone's ass.
Why are you warlocking?
Huh? Because it's a class I've never leveled past like 60.
It isn't
Because
because
why would
it
I-
happens to be the hot ticket item of the current BFA content?
No, I would never play a warlock over my priest. The rogue and warlock is the only classes that I haven't like played at a max level.
Yeah, the rogue,
I'm not smart enough to play rogue, so there's that. Full
the
disclosure.
rogue is something that like currently escapes me in like understanding of anything. I don't.
Which is weird because I can play feral like adequately, and it's the same concept: combo points, dots, all that. But I can't rogues.
I don't understand combo points and
Yeah.
like.
And
I
they
don't
have a
get it.
talent where you give it 6, and then you use up 5, and then you have one extra one. So it's too much processing.
Did I miss
for-
our tweet go out or
It was earlier.
I wasn't tagged in it.
That's awkward.
I don't think a tweet went out. Hold on. Guys, I apologize
right.
for interrupting the show. Oh, she did it 20 minutes ago. Good job. Well, maybe because we're late, right? We started late.
I don't know. We're on time. Everyone else's clock is wrong.
Yeah, everyone else is early, right? Hey, Epic. I see the Epic beard. Okay.
Oh yeah, none of us were tagged. That's why.
Oh, that makes sense. She's probably raiding. If I had to guess, I would say she's raiding. She does raid things. Guys, first, let's talk about what you can expect for Tuesday, the 29th reset. The event's going to be the Battleground bonus event. So, get in there, get your Battleground wins, do things. Mythic difficulty for Battle for Dazar Alar begins also. And with that is the world first race. Kirin Tor Tavern Crawl actually begins on the 31st. It's 1 day only. It's actually quite fun. Well, I think last time there was some weird buggy issues, but other than that, I quite
Yeah.
enjoyed it. Do you fancy the crawling of
Yeah,
the
no, because
taverns?
I like to do a bar or pub crawl IRL, so I like the concept of having a tavern crawl in the game.
I agree. And the Lunar Festival will be Monday the 28th, which the Lunar
Is it the
Festival...
Lunar Festival or Festival?
Listen, first of all, you should just be thanking your lucky stars that I even did have the time for show prep because...
Are you still directing things accordingly?
So I was trying to explain this to you, Gamer Checks, earlier. It isn't so much the promotion, it's that I was tasked with restructuring and revamping an entire department at the same time because there were fundamental things that were broken processes. So process, protocol, documentation, and hiring another resource all at the same time while trying to learn what a director does and be on. Yesterday, I think my conference call total was like 9.
Jesus Christ.
So most of those are like 45 minutes in length. So you do the math on how much time in a day.
Yeah, I do like one conference in a weekly meeting, and I want to kill myself. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
And
in
it's
one
not
day.
like ones I could sit there
That's
and
crazy.
ignore either.
Yeah.
I have to be actively a part of it.
Yeah, you have to be actively listening to everything.
So it's a lot. And then I'm trying to get a handle on having some type of life afterwards. Yesterday, I didn't even game. There was no gaming that happened. I mean, I logged into WoW on the laptop downstairs, but there wasn't any gaming just because I was just physically done with life.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna lay here and eat my cheesecake, and
That's an innuendo. Jesus Christ.
the cheesecake's an innuendo.
No. Anyways, yeah, so,
I'm so confused. Sometimes I feel like you're on a different level or we're in a different planet. Do you feel like that's the case?
sometimes.
Yeah, I got cheesecake because I don't like cake. I mean, I do like cake. Let me not lie. I do like cake. But I like cake that I make. So my husband just got a cheesecake that has different flavor slices, and I just take a bite out of each one, which
Wow.
I should have brought it up here and ate it during the intro where you can't see me on video because I have not eaten today. I had a donut this morning, but I have not had time to eat because I'm doing work, and then I have method video stuffs that I'm doing tonight and this weekend. So I'm trying to be a better human, essentially. But with that being said, let's talk about hotfixes, because as we know, when new content comes out, we can always expect a new round of hotfixes, and several rounds, actually. There isn't anything too surprising there. The items for, so your emissary armor, your the rewards from your faction assaults, weapon, caches, however you want to say it. I'm not here to judge you. Now reward items by loot specialization when they were previously awarded by class. So just be aware. Really, you're probably aware of that anyway, so you have whatever loot specialization you want, but just keep in mind that when you're completing things, you need to have the specialization.
Yeah, because they automatically give it to you, because
otherwise you get stuff that you don't really need. You know.
And then you disenchant that Azurite item when you really should have broken it down at the machine because you're dumb. Yeah.
Right.
That was me.
Well, when you disenchant, you're supposed to still get the...
I didn't. My currency didn't go up for the new currency.
Are you sure they were mythic?
Yeah, no, it was from a raid or from a mythic.
No, it's just Mythic Plus gear that drops from Mythic Plus.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not raid gear. Yeah, if you disenchant the Mythic Plus gear that you get, it will give you the Titan Residium. Disenchanting or scrapping, either one will do the trick. So, you're good to go there. So, trinkets. I don't have anything to say about this except all negative stuff. So there was 2 new trinkets that were introduced. And these trinkets were PvP trinkets. Tank PvP trinkets.
Oh. You need to get me some of those.
First of all, tanks don't belong in PvP, right? Like, everybody knows. If you're a tank, you should not be in PvP.
If only there's a vendor where I could specifically buy that trinket. Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to be in PvP, at least make it Battlegrounds. I don't want to see your ass in some 2s or some 3s. Because I'm just going to blast.
I was doing 2s this weekend and during this week, and yeah, there was a bunch of people saying, prop paladin looking for healer. I was like, oh, you scumbag.
Yeah, you should. If you're a tank and you're running 2s or 3s, I need you to find a cliff, and it could be, I don't care how tall the cliff is or how far you have to drive. When you get to that cliff, I want you to run a good distance from the cliff, and then I want you to jump when you hit the edge. That's what I want you to do if you are a tank in 2s or 3s. Plain and simple. Just do that and we'll be good. Because again, they don't belong there. They don't belong in tournaments. I know it happened. It was the big meta. I get it. Like, Blizzard made it okay for that to be a thing. Blizzard wanted to make it where everybody could, you know, all the tanks in the world that were crying racism finally got what they wanted. But the tank doesn't belong in arenas. But, guys, I don't have to toot that horn. We already know. They really don't. Like, fuck, I don't know how many other ways to say tanks don't belong there. But in light of that, yes, the community, as this is why that I love it. The guys with the bigger mouths, I could have said larger voices, but bigger mouths always win here. Talked about these specific trinkets, and everything that these trinkets did is now dispellable, which it wasn't before. So there's one where it's like a heal absorption something. I don't actually know what these trinkets do, I'm going to be really honest, because I don't tank, and I wouldn't lower myself to tank. But one's a shield.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a tank needs a shield? Get the
Well, I mean, bear druids don't have any shields. They just have their big butts and fur.
But I guess now they can be dispelled, so there's an opportunity for counterplay here. Here's the thing that I have about this. Here's the problem. The fact that tank trinkets even exist. I don't even know. Why? Why?
Well, I mean, basic PvP trinkets technically function as tank trinkets because it increases the versatility on most of them, and versatility reduces damage and increases damage. So
I don't know. A shield and absorbs and all that other kind of stuff.
I mean, that'd be good for, I guess, specifically for like flag carrying or something, but it could be useful on other specs as well.
Right. It would be great if it was for non-tanks. But the problem is tanks were using them.
I mean, they also have that one where it increases, heals you for X amount.
Yeah, I just feel like
Different function.
I don't know. I like arenas that, especially when you're watching from a tournament. Fucking hell, man. This is the way tonight's gonna go, guys. Tournament perspective. I like fast paced, but I do also like longer games because I think the longer games are, I don't know, it's good TV to have longer games.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, Rem. So
Yeah.
if you're struggling in that department, you should probably like watch a video, or they make an app for that.
Yeah,
I
they
think.
don't. There's no way of fixing it, unfortunately.
I feel like they make an app for that. Does anybody know if there's an actual app that exists for that specific,
I don't think so.
problem? Random quests. Faction Assault World Quests now properly give credit for the weekly quest the world awaits. There was a pet issue with them not summoning correctly on the airships during faction assaults. They fixed and adjusted that. Fortified and Bolster will no longer increase the health of the Reaping Ghosts. As if Reaping wasn't bad enough. I didn't realize that was a thing, and that is scary.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's like in Shrine of the Storm, wherein you have the Sanguine, all the little droplets. There's like 10 of them before some areas, and all that drops Sanguine, so it's like shit show.
Sanguine. You're right.
Sanguine.
Sanguinator?
San Diegans.
That's kind of weird, but I'm going to just go with it. There's some random stuff, a random thing fixed in Motherlode. I don't particularly fancy Motherlode. I think it's ugly, but whatever. And then some items. So potions that grant greater invisibility, or invisibility in general, now place a 5-minute cooldown on all other potion types, was 10 minutes.
Okay, I mean...
But the shared cooldown, of course, still for invisibility potions in general is still,
Oh, well, that's... Okay, that's weird.
So. Well, I like the invisibility potions when I'm doing sneaky stuff. And I don't want to aggro the whole island. Like, I just...
Sneaky, sir.
I just want to go and do stuff and do things and be happy about that. Every portion of Azurite powers that scale with item level have been reduced by 50% in PvP. It was 55. So...
Wow.
I seen a post about this, and I tried to understand the weight of what that means. I don't have a clue, but it's also because I don't use PvP gear. So that could be why. I don't know if that's specific, because I know that there's Azurite traits for PvP gear, but I don't know.
Well, I think it's the fact that early on, I remember it being an issue and people just stacking the Azurite trait like one of the ones that like increases your stats or something other, and it was inflated. Not like inflated, but like it does just does a bunch of damage. Like I think Thundering Blast was an issue too. But that's where they reduced it by 5% though.
I mean, I don't really care about PvP gear because this fake ass shit show of this conquest crap.
Well, it's not just PvP gear. It was just the gear in general. People were stacking the traits.
I fucking
And they have that
hate-
new ring and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, they have the 5th ring. I fucking hate. Guys, when I say hate, like, there isn't even a word, really, that I can use to describe it. It's just hate. The conquest system. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And I tried really hard to like it. I did my conquest like a good little girl, and I tried really hard to like it. I just... Am I alone here? Does anybody else feel the way that I do?
No, in that Q&A, they were asking questions about that and when we're going to get it PvP vendors. And they're like, oh, no, this system's better because you can get more gear. Da-da-da. It was amazing.
Listen, if anybody from Blizzard watches this, and it's probably not a thing because I'm sure there's other podcasts out there that Blizzard employees would be watching and it wouldn't be us, and that's cool. It doesn't even hurt my feelings. I'm not even a little bit offended. Whoever took over PvP, I don't know who. Supposedly it was a guy from 10 years ago who knows what he's doing. If this makes it to that some guy who is in charge of PvP, I need you to take your whiteboard meetings from the last 2 years, and I need you to set all of the notes from that on fire, and I need you to go back to the fucking drawing board. And I need you to bring back the PvP vendors. I need you to bring back the conquest the way it was originally intended. It was a system that wasn't broken. You chose to break it. You gave us a solution for a problem we didn't have, and it still fucking sucks. Period.
Very well spoken.
Fuck your chest in the Duelers Guild. Fuck the conquest. Ridiculous, stupid grind that isn't fun anymore. Like, just remove it then, because you gave us something that isn't a better replacement, in my opinion. Honestly, just make it
It wasn't
happen.
even a band-aid. It was... You just salted the wound.
I just need... Like, I like change, right? It's not a thing of, Belle, you're just fighting this change for 2 years. It isn't about change. It's about they gave us a solution to a problem that we didn't have. They invented the problem. And then they're like, Ike, you made us do it. This is for your own
You just
good.
make me go crazy.
You don't tell me what's for my own good. I don't need a dad. If anybody at Blizzard is listening to this, I just need you to just do it. For fuck's sake. Just...
Make your dreams come true.
And it's funny because a lot of people have, you know, said to me, oh, you know, this doesn't bother me. I don't miss it, this and that. If you look at Twitter in regards to the PvP vendor and the way that this stupid fucking chess system works and this dumb pretend system that is ugly, which is why I don't mess with the gear. Like, I did the conquest thing, and I was like, this is exactly why I didn't deal with it, because this is just an additional task to add to my daily to-do list that isn't fun for me.
Yeah, and I kept it twice, and they're like, I don't see the point.
And I'm surviving just fine in my good old-fashioned gear. It's really not that big of a deal. I'm sure there's an additional benefit that I could be gaining. I don't actually know that that's, you know, I don't really know. But and the fact that they just decide when I get my gear, like what I get, that they just decide it. They're
Yeah,
not
but
even my
RNG
real
is,
dad.
is better because there's more options. And
They're not even my real dad. And then their argument to that was, well, we wanted it to be attainable for everyone. Just gonna let that sink in for just a second. So we wanted it to be attainable for everyone, yet we made it virtually impossible for you to quickly identify what you need and when you are going to be able to get it. So you...
it just makes it more confusing.
Right. So we wanted to make it attainable for everyone.
By doing so, it's unattainable by anyone.
Right. Or, I mean, I'm sure there's people that have it, like these gladiators. I'm not a fucking gladiator. This ain't fucking Sparta, guys. So, That ends my first rant. There will be a second rant later on in the show, but I love it. PvP, I'm enjoying PvP just so that I don't give the wrong information here. I am thoroughly enjoying it, actually. More than I thought that I would, and I do have a good time. It is fun. I'm enjoying World PvP, but this gear system situation makes me literally want to set somebody on fire. And I don't mean that as like a euphemism or like I'm so mad that I could. No, I can and would. Like, if given the opportunity, fire. I mean, I'll rub 2 sticks together. I don't give a shit. Whatever way gets it done.
So what you're saying is you're not Maximus Decimus Meridius?
No.
Oh, that's a shame.
I would be more like Caesar.
Huh. Like a salad? Or like stab 37 times?
Well, probably like the salad, honestly. But pre-stabbing, question mark? But other than that, here's the thing. I'm not bitching just to bitch here. I just really hate the system. So that's it for the hot fixes. Guys, let's talk about 2 quick items for news, and then we're going to move into important, non-important, general bullshittery.
I didn't know about this.
That you may or may not need to know without getting interrupted by Rem because he's rude. The LinkedIn investigators strike again. Listen, if you are moving to Blizzard as an employee, stop putting it on your LinkedIn before Blizzard announces it, because this is how people are getting busted, because there's literally people stalking these employees and figuring out what they're doing. So because the LinkedIn secret spies, the Witcher 3 creative director actually hopped on over to Blizzard as the creative director of something. I don't know. I don't think I saw a project attached there, but a lot of people on Twitter, super rude. You okay there, Rem?
Yeah, super rude to the
just in general, like the comments that they were making was like, run in the other direction. Why would you do this to your career? Like, I don't understand. Listen, these are guys...
Because of the bandwagons that don't like Warcraft, and Witcher 3 is, in my opinion, like one of the best games ever made. But
these guys on the internet that are constantly bashing anything that happens at Blizzard, doesn't matter what it is. It could be the greatest thing in the world. What do you do for a living? What have you created? What have you built? What have you done with your life that gives you some type of entitlement to even an opinion, really, at this point? It's not even really about opinion. It's about, like, have you ran literally like a multi-gajillion-dollar company? Do you have qualifications that maybe are not listed on your Twitter profile that maybe I'm missing? What do you do for a living? Do you like, what do you do?
So delivering pizzas doesn't give me the right to...
No, it isn't even about what they do specifically, because, like, even, it doesn't matter what they do. Smarts isn't necessarily, you know, their job isn't necessarily reflective of that. It could just be for whatever the circumstance, nobody's better than the other. But from a industry or a business standpoint, for you to make comments on a business situation, what the fuck do you know about it? Are you a CEO? Are you, do you do a thing at all? Because it's those people that do know about those things that don't make those comments because they know.
I'm the BFO.
What's that?
The bitch fit officer.
Like, I feel like it's okay to have an opinion and to have feelings, right? I'm not saying not to. But, like, maybe you could quit being assholes. And it's funny because a lot of these people are currently subbed to Blizzard products.
In some form or another, yeah.
Why are you giving money, though? Like, why? It's such a big deal. I am, for one, excited about a Witcher 3 creative director. I've never played it, but I've watched a lot of cinematics and random gameplay, and I'll take that. You mean somebody who knows how to entertain other people via video games? Yeah, I'll take you. Sign the fuck right up. Like, isn't that what you do? Don't you borrow?
I don't know about borrow, but it's never a bad idea to have new
I don't care
ideas.
about Blizzard's market value. That doesn't mean anything to me. I don't give two shits about that. I don't care about stock drops. I don't care about fucking the Queen of Sheba. I don't care about that. I care that they're making my game still and that it's good. And currently it's good and they're still making it. That's what I care about. I don't care about anything else. I honestly don't care. Those that have stock in Blizzard, that's great. They can take that fight to somebody else, but it doesn't belong here. It doesn't have anything to do with the game itself until it does, right? I'm sure if there's a point where, let's say, worst case scenario, all of Activision moves into Blizzard headquarters and has their hands in everything and it all goes to shit. Okay, well then, you know, but there's nothing, we can't change it. We can't fix it. We can't make it any better. It doesn't have anything to do with us at all. So opinions are not my problem. Being an asshole on the internet is my problem. It isn't about opinions. It isn't about stating opinions. It's people that are assholes on the internet. That's my problem. Because they aren't opinions that they're giving. Insults, that's what it is. When you start insulting other people, employees, gamers, whatever the case may be, once you start insulting other people, that's no longer a fucking an opinion. It's a bully. That's what it is. It's an internet keyboard commando who I don't believe would say that to someone's face. I'm going to be really honest. I think people on the internet with that anonymity, they feel like they could, you know, they got that superhero mask on and can do whatever they want. But it isn't about opinions, guys. And it isn't a complaint about people having an opinion. It's people being assholes on the internet. Plain and simple. So we could twist my words and we can make it things that it isn't. It doesn't bother me, but facts are facts. Personally. You know?
I get all my facts from Carfax.
Right. What are you even talking about? Hold on. Let me see what... Pisk, are you new here? I've never seen you in the chat before. So I feel like I wanted to say hello to you. The hate people blow up? I don't know what that is. But yeah, I just... toxicity is a virus and it spreads. And it's essentially poisoning the well. I've talked about this before. And the poisoning of the well is what's destructive. And then it causes behavior like the tweet I saw yesterday. Where it was a kind of a threat, actually. I don't know. Twitter might actually shut that guy's account down. I don't know. But, however, anything that seems to be in a good, positive direction, I'll wait and see what happens. If we're getting the Witcher 3 creative director, cool. That sounds like it might be a good thing for us, because even if it isn't like World of Warcraft in nature, maybe there's something else in the pipeline that he might solve, give to, make better, innovate, you know, whatever the case may be. But switching gears, the second thing I wanted to talk about is obviously Mythic World First Race begins next week. Now I almost blew my cover last week on two different things. I still can't talk about the second thing because they had to wait for the second thing because of the first thing, time and space continuum and dilithium crystals and all of that. Yeah. But yes, Method is streaming the World First Race from their perspective live in London. A variety of Method people are going to be doing the casting, including Dari. Mom, I didn't know you were going to be a caster. Congratulations.
Is she a caster in game? I'm confused. Does she play a caster in game? I'm confused.
That was just really bad. In addition to that, I saw Exorcist is going to be streaming live too.
Why don't they have Josh streaming at the Globe? It's
What?
hurts, feels bad. They need priests at the Globe.
What are you talking about? I don't
Well,
know.
they have like X amount of people from the raid, but they should have Josh there because he's a priest. And
I mean, he's raiding and he's gonna be streamed as well. Is that what you mean?
well, no, because I don't know.
I might be confused.
I think we're both confused now.
I think you confused yourself, and then me trying to figure out your confusion confused me.
No, I knew exactly what I was saying. I want Josh to be at the streaming Globe thing.
Is he not there? Did they
No.
replace him?
No, he's not going to be there.
He's
At least
on the.
it wasn't in there an announcement.
The people that were in the announcement are casters and commentators, and I believe perspectives. But he's on the raid team, so
Well, I know he's on the raid team. I want him to be in the middle of deal.
I don't think you know what that means.
Okay.
If he's on the raid team, that means he's going to be streaming. Like, he's going to be in the stream rating, right? No?
Never mind.
I'm just saying, like, if it's how it happened last time, like, the entire raid team was streamed. They just have, like, rotation in between breaks, and they have commentary and live action, maybe?
Oh
Maybe
my.
they're going to do hand puppets or something on stage. I don't actually know.
Not a bad idea. Do hand puppets.
Exorcist is streaming. Limit has gotten sponsors, which is... I was talking about that with somebody earlier. Might have been Pleb. And everybody was saying, like, how out of left field it came. Not really. I mean, they almost beat Method. Somebody's going to sponsor you if you, like, were literally a fraction of a pull away from
What
me.
came out of left field? The sponsors or the...
Yeah,
them
the
shooting?
sponsors.
Oh, yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Who is
I mean-
who are some of their sponsors, though?
I don't know. They're not Method, so I don't
Oh.
care.
Oh, well, okay.
I don't pay attention to it because it doesn't. But, I mean, it's good for them. I can't hate Limit. There's some members in Limit that I like, and I'm cool with. And Trill is Limit, so I can't be... That's my dude, you know? So I have to be happy. Do you guys know that Trill does the MDI stuff? He does Mythic rating. He actually got Mithrax world first. He was in rotation for that.
Mm.
And this dude is winning freaking tournaments.
Yeah, he's
And
good at the game.
It's not because Trill's mom and I follow each other on Twitter either, guys. But it is official. Like, I'm family now, so...
Oh.
But, yeah, Trill's a beast. Like, that guy does a lot of stuff. But I am really excited, and I just want to say that I hope everybody watches the world first race, whether you're watching it on Exorcist, whether you're watching it on Method Stream. You should probably watch it on Method Stream because there's going to be a thing there. But I just want people to watch it, and I want people to hype and push forward, no matter who you're rooting for. It doesn't matter who you're rooting for. I was saying earlier that I don't think it's a bad thing if Method doesn't win, and it isn't because I love Method, but I think it makes for good TV. Like, if someone can take the Giant down one time, then you have a comeback story, and you can't even...
Yeah, then they just become the Yankees or the Patriots.
Like, you can't even script that kind of made-for-TV stuff. Like, maybe it would be a good thing for another guild to win, so that it isn't so... What's the word? Like, if you think you can never beat the champ, right? And people try and try and try, and they never do. I think it makes for good TV. I think it's important.
And it's not fun when everyone's always the underdog.
Right.
And then you eventually always have that underdog that always wins eventually.
And
defeatism, yeah.
there's a lot of them. There's some really good guilds that are, that are in these races, and I think it's going to be a good race. I'm excited for no matter who wins. And funny, Method likes to be the best at everything, but it isn't. They're not going to cry on anyone's shoulder because if they don't win, but I'm just saying. It's good things. It's exciting. And I'm excited to watch it because I'm a casual, so.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun from the outside. There's a lot of stress and all that in the middle of it.
I wish they would show, like, I wanna hear, like, audio of the raid leader losing his shit. Like, come completely unglued because that one guy stood in fire.
Well, I mean, when you're at that level, it's not really efficient to just completely reprimand people constantly.
Losing your shit is 100% efficient.
I mean, yes and no, but people on that raid team aren't going to be making those kind of mistakes.
They're not impervious to human error.
Well, I didn't say that they're not imperfect. I'm just saying they're not going to make simple mistakes like that. Maybe like an orb runners or something. Maybe got caught on something, but they're not going to make mistakes that I would make in a raid.
I feel like you're making a dig at me for my Matrix running.
What are you talking about? I was just bashing myself.
I don't know. That felt like an insult. I just want to tell you that it's not my fault our raid leader chose to change that shit up last minute. Then I had to re-muscle memory a different protocol. I'm pretty proud of myself, though.
No, you did orbs really well and all the mechanics really well. So
I know. That's pretty shocking, actually. We'll see this next raid tier. There's always the one fight that's just going to be, I want to kill myself.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's talk about Tides of Vengeance, part due. Obviously, we know the raid, right? The raid is happening.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's a raid. And
holy
now,
shit.
The cool thing about this is, they're telling a story in the raid. They've kind of always done that, but I feel like they're really driving the points home and choosing a perfect landscape to paint a picture. Now, the thing that had been missing for the last two expansions is the picture was always visible to both sides. In this instance, the picture is of us personally and what we're going through in the raid. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's, it's needed because for people who don't multi-faction, I don't know what the hell Horde's doing. I'm just making assumptions. You're burning down my trees and, like, trying to steal fucking Vicrolls and... Or, it was the Valkyrie, right? Maybe not Vicrolls.
Valkyrie, yeah.
Like, I don't know what you're doing, but I know whatever it is isn't good for me. I'm not happy about what you're doing. But I think that the way that they're telling the story is interesting, and I think people will go into raid just because they want that. I mean, they don't necessarily have to have that because it's not like through the power of data mining we can't just have those cinematics, but I think that that's important anyway. So, normal, heroic is out now. Mythic difficulty and the first wing of Raid Finder will be out next week. And then the following week will be wing 2, and then the following week, well, I guess technically it is, by the 26th, all the wings will be out, which is good. Well, are we stealing Sour Fang, or is he doing what's right?
Neither. He just done with Sylvanas' shit, so he's doing what he wants.
Because I feel like blindly following orders without question or thought to repercussions, or I feel like Sylvanas' vision is not the vision that's what's best for Horde as a whole. I feel like she's making selfish decisions. And she's doing it from one perspective and not everyone else, not the group as a whole. Mm-hmm. And in this case, she's acting as if, you know, this is what needs to be done. And I don't feel that that's the case. And I think maybe he sees that, and maybe he isn't on a good or bad side. He's just on a side of people and honorability and doing the right thing, even if it means going against something. So it could just be because I'm Alliance, and I don't believe that it's a dirty tactic from Anduin's point of view. I don't feel like it's something Anduin wants to do as a means to destroy the Horde. I think Anduin might see him as the gatekeeper. Maybe,
Who's the keykeeper?
the beekeeper?
The keykeeper.
That's a good question. That is a good question. I think Anduin might see an opportunity to bridge a gap, and Saurfang being that bridge.
Oh.
I don't think he like wants a spy. I don't think it's nefarious, because I don't know that Anduin has the ability to be
Devious.
killer mentality, yes, and devious and cloak and dagger and spies. Like, I don't think he has
Well,
it
that's
in
why
him.
he's got Matthias.
You're right. The jury's still out on trustworthiness there, but I don't feel like it's for a bad thing. I think maybe Saurfang sees a possibility there, and I don't think it's necessarily to turn on his people. I think it's to kind of like the enemy of my enemy is my friend, but it's not the same. Come together for a common goal. The common goal isn't necessarily to kill all the Horde in Anduin's mind, because I don't think Anduin wants to kill them all.
No,
Now,
it just removes
dad-
the bond.
Definitely. Like, one could argue that there are many correlations between, Rin and Hitler. I'm just throwing that out there. Yeah, he had a lot of Hitler mentality
That.
for many moons. Yeah, he did. But personal pain, we don't know what that does to people either. He's got a lot of shit's happened. So, with that being said, Dungeons and Dragons. I like how randomly I've been signed out of my show notes in the middle of the show.
It's weird.
Get your shit together, people. So it is season 2 for everything.
Mm-hmm.
PvE, PvP, all the things. That does also mean new ladders for all those items as well.
That's good. It could only have a step ladder.
You're embarrassing. That's just embarrassing.
I resemble that remark.
The Darkshore Warfront, the level eye level required to queue is 320 now, FYI, instead of 335.
Weird.
I mean, that's better. It could be because of the gear they're giving away, or maybe because 335 was kind of a weird number anyway. Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't it feel weird? Normally it's like 315 or 320. I don't know. That kind of seemed a little weird, but I'm not trying to judge anybody. All right, maybe I'm judging a little, but whatever. I'm trying to see if there's anything. Like, there's tons of item reward updates and stuff like that, which I'm gonna get into some of that, including talking about item level scale, what that looks like. No, I wasn't saying the Horde was Nazis. I was saying that King Rin was a Nazi in his younger years, with his wanting to eradicate Horde from Azeroth. So his thought process there was a little Hitlerish. Not the Horde. That would be, I'm sure somebody would make that racist somewhere. But
Probably.
the war campaign also is continuing. So make sure that because it was contingent on the raid being released, so make sure you go to your either Borealis or Zuldazar and get the continuation of that. And if my memory serves me correctly, they're releasing from the raid. They're releasing a new chapter, but I'm pretty sure it's part is what it was labeled in PTR, so that we could just, you know, they're spoon feeding that every week.
Yeah.
Which I tried to avoid spoiler text, but it hit me in the face. I'm pretty excited. Are you excited, Rem?
I'm so excited.
Wow, that was like the worst ever. New missions on War Tables, so go get it done. And new drops from all kinds of things. That does include island expeditions, which I'm not going to lie, I haven't done an island expedition since they did all the changes. I haven't done one.
I haven't done one in a minute.
Yeah, I probably should get in there and do that just because I feel like I'm missing something there. But, and then level up you got to level up your followers so you can get a new equipment slot. And then, oh yeah, don't let me forget your new missions to upgrade faction outposts. Your faction outposts. So make sure you go and do the stuff. Treasure hunting, all that stuff. Faction assaults. Oh, how many of you are working on the dwarf and blood elf heritage armor?
I have not quite yet.
I don't have a dwarf that I've leveled, so.
I have a couple of dwarves that I've leveled. I mean, I could do it on the shaman.
I don't even think you have to level it. I think it just happens if you're a dwarf, actually. I might be wrong about that. Which would be nice, because a lot of people boosted.
Yeah.
I'm scared to see the Warlock Heritage Armor. I haven't missed it, right?
Well, it wouldn't be a Warlock Heritage Armor. It'd just be to that class or the
I mean
race.
human, not
Warlock.
no,
nothing
Sorry,
for human yet.
I mean, I don't really know what else you could do with human stuff. I can tell you
It's probably gonna be like some heavy plate armors, because that's what humans are all about.
They're still not giving us letting Warlocks be Kultiran, so.
Well, because Kultiran never came in contact with Fel. At least not in this timeline.
I mean, why can't they retcon that in? They retcon everything else.
You're right.
Seems like selective retconning to me, fuckbags.
Oh, 100%. Most items, yeah.
Why do they hate me? All the things that I really, really, really find joy in, they just... And I know it has nothing to do with me because I'm not that powerful, but it feels like they're targeting me. But... Yeah. Oh, Mythic and PvP Islands now reward 350 artifact power, which it's up from 300. That isn't a big bump, but it's a bump still. And the PvP Island Expeditions, which is probably next on my list to actually test out because I haven't done one, awards 50 conquest on a win instead of 8, which...
That's...
You know,
that's a nice one, yeah.
That's decent.
That's more than 2's ranked and 3's, actually. Because 2's is like 25... 3's is, I think, 50, yes? But that's good.
Count bound maps to unlock many flight points. This is already a thing. Why are you giving me old stuff? This is not new stuff. This is a lie. Hold on. We've already had the map, so I'm not sure. Yeah, this is old shit. Get out of here with your old stuff. I hate old people. Things. Not like old people, but like old people. Anyway. I feel like there's nothing good that's going to come of that.
Probably not.
Well, I mean, it could be worse. So, let me just make sure I didn't miss anything on anything you needed to know. I'm pretty sure that's pretty much like the bulk of things. There was a lot of just like little tweaks here and there. Quality of life stuff kind of shuffled and moved around. Obviously, they added the 5th ring to Azurite armor. But let's talk about eye level so we kind of know what we're looking at. So the maximum possible eye level will go up by 30. So from 395, it'll be 425. The Azurite stuff includes a 5th ring. And here's what the gear kind of looks like. So for out in the world, the World Quest gear, that now scales to 385.
Oh, wow.
Warfronts like Warfront, World Quest, the world bosses that are in those 400 item level. Titan Forging is now going up to 425, which, remember, Titan Forging is supposed to be the exception, not the rule. So, you know. But the last thing that Titan forged, got the really good one, remember? Everybody was like, wow, you got that Titan forged.
Oh, yeah.
But then something Titan forged that was, it was a waste of a Titan forge. I wanted to, like, can we just redo this?
Yeah, I got a Titan Forge offhand that had, like, it was useless.
I didn't have a birthday. I'm not any older than I was yesterday.
Yeah, you're 28 forever.
Mm-hmm. My cheesecake cake said 21. We're going to go with that. 21. Dungeons, so your mythic pluses, that'll go up by 30 levels. Raid the same, it'll increase by 30 levels. So LFR 370, normal 385, heroic 400, mythic 415. And then, you know, remember, as you go up in difficulty of the bosses, those item levels are tweaked like 5 or 10 item levels higher than what the base is.
Mm-hmm.
Like the higher you go in bosses. So it isn't like a flat in a normal, every boss, you know, you get a 385. It goes up as the difficulty, you know, as you progress through the raid, the item level goes up by like 5 or 10. So it's basically like 370 plus, 385 plus, and all that kind of thing. And PvP is relatively the same thing. It goes up by 30 item levels, and, you know, good luck to anybody who's fighting that fight.
Right?
Who wins the lottery? I want to win a lottery. Guys, I'm not even going to lie. I didn't watch the developer Q&A today. I had it on my notes because I was going to watch it and summarize. I did not watch the developer Q&A today. I don't think I'm sad I did, because it doesn't appear that there was anything that I missed of great importance.
Yeah, there wasn't anything substantial.
Because why would we talk about anything substantial on a Q&A, right? Like, why? What is even the point?
That makes too much sense.
Well, I don't know. It just doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't feel good to me at all. None of it feels good. I'm not about that life. It's not fun. Whatever, whatever, whatever. But let me check here and let's see what potentially I could have missed that could have been, like, interesting. So let's see. Does anybody actually play the bingo game? The developer Q&A bingo? So,
I think I did once.
let's see highlights. Blizzard is looking at offensive cooldowns on the GCD. Not by taking them off, but by making sure it feels good to press immediately. A sentence will send out a healing wave when pressed in 8.1.5. Starting next week, they'll be changing the overwhelming odds world PvP quest for Alliance to a 385 piece, but add another bonus like Conquest rewards. Blizzard is looking into letting you create all 50 characters on one realm.
Oh boy.
8.1.5. The Heart of Azeroth in 8.2 will be more similar to Legion's artifact weapon with active abilities and powers which can be upgraded and customized based on the content you deal. What?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Something about...
Some of the notes were, I don't know if they're off or what, but some of them didn't make sense.
Can we get a way to transfer war resources from mains to alts? That seems like it makes sense. That's something they can do. It doesn't make sense to me.
Why not?
I don't know. It would be great. I'm not going to lie. I would love to be able to do that. because I don't do the amount of world quests on alts that I do on the main, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from a selfish perspective, it makes sense. But I don't know. I feel like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's in the currency tab, so it's not technically tangible in your bag. So how would they even do
Where
that?
I don't know. Maybe you could just
Just
transfer
make it
like,
account wide.
well, money's not physically in your bag either. You can send yourself money. So
Well, they had the COD system in mails, and you can just mail gold. I mean, that's a different system, though.
it's currency still, though. It's all labeled under
I mean,
the same
what I'm
DB.
saying is they'd have to make a specific UI for that resource. Would they not?
Maybe they plan on doing that. Maybe they're just going to have it where you could send currency and there's a little drop down where you could pick the currency. Because all currency's in the same database table.
I mean, yeah, I understand all that, but still, they'd have to just change.
Yeah, it would just like be a UI tweak. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels, I don't know, guys. I'm trying not to be, I don't really mind it. If people need it and it's good for others, I think that's great. Personally, it has never been a really big deal, though there have been times where I'm like, gosh, why can't I just have this stuff? What they really need to be focused on, besides, like, let's worry about war resources, is all the shit that you get crafting-wise.
What do you mean, like the
stuff that's account bound. Or I mean the stuff that's soulbound in crafting.
Oh, yeah.
Your hydros, your titan cores, your fucking whisker do's, your whisker don'ts. You know, I feel like, what do you think? Do you feel like that? I mean, I hear you actually get mad because you get stuff on one that you need for the other.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it would be super useful, for instance, war resources if it's just account wide. But like with the crafting, it doesn't make sense for it to be soul bound because, I mean, unless it's like a specific item for a specific purpose, like the engineering hats, it's engineering.
Right.
But with armor smithing and leatherworking, it's always been you make the gear and you're able to sell it. That's how you make the gold on those professions. It feels kind of gimped to remove a source of income for that profession that since day one has always been something where you can make stuff and sell stuff.
Do you feel like they do that on purpose so that you can't like have all the professions making all the big expensive stuff so that you can't like monopolize the market?
I mean, maybe. I mean, people are still going to monopolize it in other ways though. So it's just,
yeah,
it's like
do that.
Stopping one thing and letting all these other 5 things happen.
It just feels like I don't know. Like, there's lots of things that I would get on the monk that I really needed on Bell. And vice versa. Like, when because I'm doing the druid leveling so that I could bring the druid through because the druid's going to be cool tier. And I feel like now I got to go through and I got to do dungeons on the druid to get the cores, and because the druid's got leather working in. I don't remember what the other one is. It might be alchemy. Maybe it's not. I don't actually remember. But I don't know. I feel like that should really be the focus instead of worrying about war resources, because at least war resources are somewhat easier to obtain.
Yeah, if you just focused on it for a couple of days, you'd get more than enough you needed on an alt or what have you.
Right, to be able to do this stuff like on your phone.
Yeah, it'd be super useful to just have that be account wide instead of trying to say like, oh, we can just trade it across your account. Why not just have all of our tunes grouped up into one war resource?
I agree. Okay, so I want to talk about this. Can we please get some sort of PvP vendor? Guys,
yeah, that's why I'm saying they mentioned it.
Don't ask for some sort of PvP vendor, because we asked for some sort of conquest system to be put back in place, and I'm sorry we did.
Read the last paragraph.
Hold on a minute. Hey, guys, you might be watching a live triggered emotional response here. Hold on. So the way vendors worked in the past, there was an order in which you bought pieces off the vendor. I like that order. But they understand there is value in the vendor of control. The system that they're creating, they're creating a system basically that's more transparent and offers those choices. But what? Yeah, does it? let's see. In the past, they had vendors, they had PvP stats like PvP power and resilience, and because that doesn't exist anymore, they need to take into account the rest of the game. There's no such thing as a raid vendor and a PvP, and PvP already offers a lot of control. PvP currently offers the most selection. Wait.
Yeah, this is great.
Hold on. Hold on. Guys. PvP currently offers the most selection as to the piece of gear you want. Just... I'm going to let that just live in the atmosphere for just a second. I'm going to have to go back and watch the VOD because I want to see the comment reactions when that was said.
Yeah, also the last sentence in that middle paragraph also is the same random bullshit. They're saying their system works when it obviously doesn't. Which, I mean,
maybe there's a different style of player it's working for. So those of you that are listening, those of you that are watching, send me an email, comment on the YouTube. If I'm missing where the value that's being added here, if there's a different style of player, type of player, maybe I'm missing it.
well, I don't know, because I mean, I was looking at Disc and Shadow on like the PvP leaderboards last season because I was going to try and get the Hippo at the last second, which I mean that was an epic fail. But there's like 1 out of 10 of the priests I was looking at was actually using the PvP gear. Everyone's doing Mythic pluses and stuff so they can get the gear that they want to need.
There's literally a Mythic Plus vendor where you could pick and choose what the fuck you want to get. What do you mean PvP offers the most control over the gear that you choose?
And what they just said, there are no vendors for PvE or the raid vendor.
There is 100% a Mythic Plus vendor. 100%. Granted,
And
it's not going to be the best of the best of the best of the gear, but they gave you a way to control getting the pieces that you wanted to get in the order in which you wanted to fucking get them. Right?
Well, yeah, it makes no sense because in raids, you have X boss drops Y loot. So you have a little RNG table within that one. So you can pick and choose which boss you want to actually do. But with this one, it's like convoluted. It has a giant pool of all the gear that you have. You can't pick exactly what you want at all.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know if I'm... I don't know.
I don't see what's wrong with having both an RNG system and having a vendor where, same thing with the Mythic Pluses, you can disenchant those items and then buy the item that you want.
And that's okay. The expense of the Mythic Plus gear, it should be expensive. Not so expensive that by the time you get enough to get it, you don't need it. But, it should be relatively, like... Conquest, when you first started capping your conquest, it took you several weeks to get enough to buy your...
Yeah, you have to get the 1650 and then the 27 and then 35.
It took you it took you a little bit to, and you had to pick and choose which was the best piece to buy first. Everybody already knew this is the order in which you buy stuff. You bought honor gear for some of the lesser items so that you could mix and match, but
you get the weapon and then...
Yeah, the expense is okay as long as it's not so expensive that the end doesn't justify the means. But just so everybody is aware, when it comes to the PvP, whatever, I don't even know, conquest, rewards, the very first week... 375 is what dropped out of a chest, so don't freak out. That isn't going to remain the thing. Week 2 will be 385. It'll be 385 all the way up until week 10. Then it'll be 400. I don't know. And if you cap your conquest, you get an extra. You get a quartermaster's coin along with your rewards, which the quartermaster's coin you can use to buy trophies, and the trophies are how you upgrade the Sinister Gladiator's gear for a higher item level, which, it's based on your current PvP bracket. So if you're being the casuals and not doing the casuals, I just don't... I'm having so much fun with PvP that the gear really... I'm just frustrated that it is what it is, so it doesn't... I can't do anything with it.
I was actually going to mention that before we switched the stuff, but in terms of PvP in general, it's super fun, but the vendor thing is still just that little thorn in the side. But otherwise, I did arenas with twos with randoms and the LFG for PvP, and it was really fun until it wasn't. But at the end of the day, it was still really fun. So, I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have fun, I'm. The value, it has to be personal value for things if they're broken or if they're not. I don't know. I'm trying to keep positive because I'm enjoying it. I don't want people thinking that, the PvP isn't fun or that I'm not having a good time, because I am. More fun than I've had in a really long time. So regarding the new season for PvP, the Vicious War Saddles. So once you obtain the seasonal one, which for this season it's the Bone Steed and the War Saber, right? Is that still?
Ooh, yes. So
Okay.
I saw that Vicious Black War Saber, and
once you've gotten your seasonal mount, every time you fill up your bar, you'll get a Vicious Saddle token so that you can buy, something else off the vendor. It could be past ones and that kind of thing. So, yeah.
So is it not like the old system at all? They removed the achievement where you can get 100 wins or 20 RBG wins?
Well, it's harder to get the stuff because it's from rated content. So, like, in the sense of you fill up your bar to get it. So it might actually be easier, not harder. It's less about...
yes and no.
Well, it's less about winning or losing in the sense of, I think you still get for losing, just not as much, of course, as you would win. So...
Well, because you have to get the Vicious War Saber and the Bone Steed, you have to be, like, above Combatant or something, or, like, last season, you have to be above... What was it? You had to do X amount of games over a certain ranking, instead of before where it was just getting wins in a ranked...
Yes, getting the seasonal mount is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Once you can acquire that, you can shut off your tryhard and just fill up your bar to get the saddles.
Mm-hmm.
So
Gotcha.
yes, it is Combatant, actually. Hold on, I'll tell you. Because you are correct about that. So yes, the seasonal part is the harder part, but at least it's... I don't know, the set amount of wins thing, I feel like that was easy to do, but not very fun because it makes each loss deeply painful. But I haven't tried for the rewards.
The bar doesn't go up if you lose, though. The bar doesn't go up if you lose, though.
I still get honor if I lose. I don't get it.
No, because the bar for the mount is a separate bar from the top.
I only have one bar, so I don't know what that means.
And the PvP window on the far, like it's midway down on the right, there's this icon showing the seasonal mount.
Oh, I don't know. I've only seen.
It says like you have to be X rating over doing those games to unlock it.
What's the rating?
I don't remember. It just said Combatant last season.
Well, let's see.
But yeah, no, I was gonna
probably
do a call out for that because I really want that Black War Saber. Someone carry me, okay?
Yeah, I'm really not about the arenas as a means to make that a thing. I'd rather just throw myself off a bridge.
We can do RBGs.
Yeah, where are we gonna pull consistency out of our asshole? Cause we got.
We can do your favorite version of RBGs. We can do YOLOs on LFG.
I know. I thought about just randomly logging in and joining a YOLO and seeing what comes of it, but I mean, it is what it is. It could be worse. It could always be worse. So, actually, hold on. Let me give you. Let's see. To obtain Gladiator title, you need to win 50 games while on the elite bracket. Let's see. So, I'm not going to be a Gladiator anytime soon. Though one day, like...
The day is not today.
Yeah, Combatant is what's needed there. And then they've got... So, the scale Combatant is... 1400 to 1599, challengers 1600 to 1799, rivals 1800 to 2099, and then duelist is 2100 to 2399. I don't particularly fancy the gear whatsoever from a PvP standpoint for...
Oh, someone broke it down. So, like you said, 1400, you have to do all the games above that ranking. But if you're doing it in twos, it'd take about 240 wins. In threes, it'd be about 80 wins. In RBGs, it'd be about 40 wins.
I can handle 40 wins.
That's way more than last time. Well, actually, no. You had to have 100 wins in threes and then 20 in RBGs. So they kind of flippy-floppy some of those numbers.
I seem to remember 50 in RBGs.
I thought it was 20.
I remember 50. Yeah, 50 wins. Pretty sure. I mean, I'm getting old, so, like, we don't even know, to be perfectly honest. And to that end, so, by show of hands, hypothetical hands, who world PvPs? Just pretend that you all raised your hand, right? We're going to do that Blue's Clues thing. We pretend everybody raised their hands, right? There was somebody that is a mutual follow on Twitter, and he made a comment about PvP, about world PvP, and I'm actually going to pull it up because this was going to be the basis of my... Because I wanted to point it out because I don't think people understand. So let me find it. Basically, he said, like, time to turn war mode off. And then he said something about Blizzard's lost touch of what world PvP is. So it wasn't a frustration on his own inadequacies or his faction's inadequacies. It was Blizzard's lost touch. Now, normally I would agree, because with this vendor thing, guys, I think you guys know where I stand on that they have lost touch on that. But when it comes to world PvP, I think it's fantastic. I think the world PvP is fun. It's great. I enjoy it. I try to, like, I've left it on. I think I turned it off for raid. Because
oh yeah, that was all bad.
Don't zone in to where you go to the raid in war mode, guys. It's not a good plan unless your team is ready to defend your honor. It's not a good plan. But if the whole raid team's already in there because you didn't take the summon or maybe you took the summon late, the whole raid team ran in, it's a bad day of just farming, and you can't take the res sickness because you have raid. Just don't. But so I basically had said, I know that there's a lot of complaints about faction imbalance, right? It's one of those things that's going to be forever. You can't force people to play what you want them to play. And if you are choosing to be a faction that is missing, because on our server, I'm going to venture to say we're largely outnumbered. I believe that there's more Horde than there are Alliance.
Based on how it groups us up, yeah.
And the fact that we always get rewarded for queuing because there's an imbalance there. As a player who lives on a server that is suffering from a faction imbalance, that doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all because it doesn't affect me greatly. Like, whether there's a faction imbalance, I'm still going to get slaughtered by a group of Horde. There could be a gajillion Alliance, but I'm not rolling with all those alliances. They're not all running with me. Not all, let's say there's 50 Horde and there's 150 Alliance. Not all 150 Alliance are with me. That doesn't have anything to do with, like, it isn't useful there. Now, I do know that I've been demolished doing quests by Horde when I'm solo. And I know that I've demolished Horde doing quests while they're solo. So, to me, I'm sure the imbalance exists. And hopefully, maybe they offer, faction changes on servers where they're imbalanced. Like, maybe that's, and they give it a cap, right? Because you don't want to overflood the other side. Maybe they come up with a creative way to be able to do that. But, in the meantime, like, I basically pointed out that it isn't necessarily Blizzard's fault that world PvP is a struggle for some. The problem entirely is selective world PvP. There are a ton of people that only turn world PvP on specifically for what they're doing for that moment and then turn it off because they want the bonus. This is selective world PvP. it's the design. They're allowing people to do that, and it's great that you're taking advantage of that. The problem with people that don't live in the world PvP realm is they don't have that mindset. So basically, the argument is that if you're doing world PvP, you shouldn't be camping flight paths and you shouldn't be attacking cities. I'm going to tell you why that's done in just a second, but instead you should be out in the world PvPing. Because of the selective world PvPers who choose to turn it on for whatever they're doing specifically because they want that bonus, those guys you don't really see out in the world. They're not out there doing things. They're hiding. They're going to and from very quickly because they wanted it, and they're in and they're out. They're not out there farming the other faction because they're doing call to arms. They're the ones that are going and doing the things, which is why you can't see them, because we don't find people when we're out doing world quests. Dark NATO will tell you, because him and I do the call to arms stuff, and we do our world quests specifically to hope to find Horde. We don't find them. So after an hour or two of trying to make an attempt to find Horde, and our server is Horde in nature as Alliance, we then go to the flight path and we farm the flight path. And I'm going to tell you why. It isn't because we want to be a dick. Well, some people maybe. When you farm the flight path, what happens is the opposing faction begins to make callouts to get back up. And then after a period of time, en masse, it becomes an all-out war at the flight path or the city. We've attacked city. The four of us have went in and gone in and attacked the city, and we did good for a minute, and then all the Horde makes the call out, everybody shows up, and we get slaughtered. It's how we've engaged the world PvP. It's how we've gotten people up out of their fucking nosebleed section to... It's how we've engaged them. Sometimes you have to ruffle feathers. And then once that happens, like, you see on your side, like, you're making call-outs, hey, more Horde just showed up, we need help, and Horde's going, hey, blah, 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 these guys. That's how you engage it. We wouldn't have to resort to such lengths if there wasn't so many selective world PvPer players using that as a means. Now, I love why Blizzard did that. I think it's great that people get the bonus. I think it's important because people that maybe didn't world PvP before would have a means to do that. But that really is the issue. That's a large...
No, I agree, because people turn it on and shouldn't fight back off because they want to get that little 30 or 20%.
Well, and I agree that the sharding is a outside of their selective sharding. The way that they do that, I do agree that it is super weird.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Now, what's funny is when I'm not in war mode, right? I see people. I see more people in war mode than I do not in war mode, right? Because the phases change, you know, it changes you when you swap. But I don't see a lot of those people out in the world. That's on my very own faction side. I see a ton of people in war mode, and that is not reflective of what's happening in the world whatsoever. That is how I know that selective PvP is a part of the problem. Now, I'm not saying you're a part of the problem if you are one of those people that's just turning it on for 5 minutes to do a thing and then turning it back off. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that that's the problem. So, it isn't a personal attack. It's more of the
system, the way it works.
Maybe those that are using it for selective ways can find more creative ways to get themselves into it. If you have to be solo, there's a lot of times when I do things in game solo because the times I game are whenever I can get it in, guys. Like, all puns and all innuendo implied. Whenever I can, I do. But, I mean, it's not, it's not that big of a deal. If I'm getting farmed, and I had the same mentality when it started. I'm like, I don't want to do stuff solo because I'm just going to get murked.
Nope.
However, I turned on the general chat. If I'm getting murked, hey guys, anybody want to come help me? There's always somebody doing a call to arms, so they're going to need those kills. They'll come help you whether they want to or not, because they need the kills. I had to take a different approach.
They're mutually beneficial.
Yes.
Situation.
So, and even in the very beginning, if you watch the episodes when everything started, and I said, if you are solo, don't do it. I was wrong to say that because I was also part of the problem. Being the selective ones there, I was part of that problem because I wasn't living in that. So because I wasn't living in that, I wasn't giving Horde the opportunity to have a kill there. Or to get killed, like whichever. So that's my, it's not even really a rant, but yeah, that 10 kills needed anywhere made me really crazy because we were sticking to the one spot and we couldn't find anything there when we went to a spot that supposedly where you're supposed to kill doesn't exist. Anyway, but I want to know what other people's take on the world PvP. If you are a selective world PvPer, what stops you from being world PvP? If it's what I just talked about, rely on your faction. If your faction doesn't come help you, nobody shows up, you might want to have a conversation with your faction on your server and be like, yo. But there's always people who want to kill the opposite faction. There's always people in Warmode who want those kills. So take advantage. Don't be afraid to call out and say, hey, I'm getting camped here. Can somebody come help me? People will come help you. If you're on my server and we're playing, we'll come help you.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Faction, pride, and all that is very important. So I want to know what your guys' stance is on world PvP specifically. So if you haven't been doing a lot of it because you're nervous, let's talk it out. Let's get you into it. Let's get you having a different experience because maybe you've had a bad experience and maybe that experience is specific to your server. Come hang out. You know, come hang out with us. Come do world quests with me and we'll die together. I'll tell you what, even if I do get murked by like 20 of them, I'm gonna fucking go out swinging. It ain't gonna be an easy meal. Unless they have a tank. Then it might be an easy meal. Though I learned how to kill demon hunters, by the way.
Oh.
I did.
Yeah, I was doing arenas and
I don't know about arenas, but in Battlegrounds I've learned how to kill demon hunters. Pretty
very
happy about
nice.
Yeah, in big groups, like, sometimes we like just attacking the big groups. I'm not really a big fan of...
It's fun when we think there's going to be like 4 or 5, and then we round the corner and there's like 10 or 12, and it's kind of like, oh, this isn't...
And then up the hill, there's another 10 that drop down, and you're like, well, this is a grave mistake.
Literally just a grave mistake, yeah.
And we did call out for help. I think help finally arrived, but we were already gone.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you know, and those people that get upset because the faction's raiding their city, guys, don't be mad. Do something about it. Don't fucking tweet on how you're sick of the flight path being camped. Rile your fucking faction up. Tell them motherfuckers to strap up, strap on, and fucking rise up and do something about it. Because the real issue isn't whether or not your flight path is being farmed. The real issue is, what fucking server are you on that nobody is rising to the occasion to defend it? That's really the issue, right? Am I right?
And I agree with that mentality because, I mean, there were some guys that were killing people and some merchant guys in Veralis, and we weren't even in a group, but like there's 3 other people that were just running around with me. We're killing them, and
yeah, if your shit's getting farmed, have a talk with your faction on your server. Have a good conversation in general chat, trade chat. Like, police your own people, guys. This is a community of players. Community. Just because you're a solo ranger doesn't mean you can't be like, yo, how come nobody's coming to help? Like, this is our faction. The problem is people don't take that responsibility upon themselves because they feel like it's a losing battle. And I get it. It's like that guy that always talks about anal in trade chat. Why do you even bother arguing with him? You know he's just going to say, did somebody say... Thunder Fury.
Old Dalaran.
Blah, blah, blah.
Anal hemorrhage and...
But...
Anal fennel knives.
I agree. Pisco, I 100% agree. And it's funny that you said that because that was literally the next thing out of my mouth. So they have the defense channel, right? That I don't...
Local defense.
Yeah, I don't ever use that defense channel. But what if there was a global channel that was similar in nature of the global defense or whatever, but was reflective of PvP, where you knew other world PvPers were going to be in this channel. Because I 100% agree. I think there should be a global channel that is world PvP in nature.
Maybe not global.
Yeah, the whole server.
No, because then people would abuse that. That's why the trade is locked to cities, so that people can't just be.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, like, you know.
Oh, then yeah.
Yeah, not like the whole
general and well, they have the local defense. They could just change the name for that.
Exactly, because the local defense, well, we know what that means because we've been here forever. Other players might not know what the hell that is, and I don't know that anybody really uses that as its intention. But what if they change the verbiage?
It still announces when NPCs are getting attacked and stuff.
But I don't think anybody uses it. I don't have it on there. It's not even on my... I'm not in that channel at all. I'm in the general now. I wasn't in the general for a really long time. But what if there was a chat? I think that's a great... I think that's great.
Yeah.
I think other people... What if you could use this channel only if you're in war mode?
I don't see why not. I mean...
It would be kind of crappy if you're trying to call out and people want to jump in war mode, but it feels like a lot of people wouldn't do that, right? So I don't think we would need to be concerned about trying to call out for everyone that isn't in war mode to swap over real quick. But if a city's getting, you know, whatever, maybe.
The chat's like for the general separate anyway, if you're in war mode or not?
I don't think so. Is it? I assumed that the chat itself...
I assume that they're separate because they're completely separate, not servers, but they're separate phased. Yeah.
I don't know. That's actually a good question. But I think if you're in war mode, you have your, and it's like maybe it's called fucking war mode chat. I don't know. But it's allows for add-ons to be in play here where you could output what's being attacked. Like, you know, there's that battleground add-on that I use that says like, you know, incoming LM, and I can click the amount of people incoming so that because I don't have time to type all that. Who has time to type when you're getting attacked? But I don't know. Maybe the change is right in front of us. And I think that was the point. Maybe the change is here. It's there, and maybe we have to take charge of that change. And I want to know who's with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think it's a great idea.
I'm going to pitch that channel.
Well, trade is a little bit different. We're talking about local defense and general chat in the zones.
Yeah, I'm talking about like war mode.
Yeah, no, he's talking about trade chat and how it's the same, but general and local defense is like based on that zone and that server / phase / shard / whatever they want to do now.
Well, I mean, it should be like, you know, if I'm in Quilteris, I want to be able to tell Drusvar and Stormsong that there's shit going down in Tierguard.
Oh, no, I wouldn't want that. I'd lock it to the zones.
No, I would want it. Would you not want other people to hop on a flight path to come over and help you?
I mean, in that sense, yes, but people would find a way to abuse it, is what I'm saying.
How? What would it be abusive there?
You'd be turning it off just like trade chat.
I'm abusing it because I'm turning it off?
No, people would be abusing it like in trade chat where they don't talk about things that are essential to what it's there for. And so you'd be turning it off just like trade chat because you don't like trade chat.
Yeah, but I think we would have to establish that culture. Like, I think it would be important if we establish that culture.
Good luck with that.
I'm just saying, I think, you know, I think PvPers are not the same as the... I think PvPers are a little bit different in culture. So I mean, some of them are really bad, right? They're like worse than trade chat, but I don't know that we would see that.
Well, because I played on a PvP server for most of the time that I played WoW, and I mean, it's the same culture.
I think trade chat is its own, like the name implies, the fuckery that ensues there. Like that, I think it's just normal.
Well, the name implies trade, not fuckery.
See, the funny thing is, I don't ever think, and even from the very beginning, I never thought it was a place to trade.
I mean, it actually used to be.
Yeah,
Most of my old servers we actually used it for trading.
Since the day I started in 2008, it
was either looking for a group or
it was always looking
trading.
for group. I never ever and carries for raiding. Yeah, I think there's possibilities there, and I think it's important that we get the conversation going to see how we can help Blizzard go in a positive path to continue to improve it, because I don't think that it's necessarily they lost touch. I think that maybe they just need some assistance to help lead them to the water wells so that we can make it better. But I think we get inconvenienced a lot, and the reality is the game isn't there for us to be convenienced all the time, right? It isn't. Because I fall victim to that too, where I don't want to do a thing because I don't have time, and I don't want to deal with war mode because I just got to get in and get out. But I'm part of the problem when I do those things, which is why outside of for raid, I don't feel bad for turning war mode off for raid because I'm just raiding. I'm not going out and doing things in the world. I realized that I was part of the problem. I wasn't living in the world that I was trying to be a part of and change positively. So in order to do that, sometimes you just have to go all in. But I think we've started a really good conversation, and I'd like to kind of see how this develops over the next couple of episodes, because I'm swapping my personal gears focus back to PvP since Rem's got a lock on the PvE stuff, like with raid and things like that. So you're going to start to see kind of some reminiscence of the old bell in PvP nature. So I'm excited about that, actually. But with that, Rem,
what do you want to do?
We're on the second set of the Dazaralar bosses, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, but we're. Did you want to time keep or no?
We're already over time. We might as well at least get that. Or do you want to? I mean, we could cover it next week. It doesn't matter. We could cover it next week.
We could do it next week. Because then
I don't want to cut you short.
And then we can do cinematics as well, since it'll be a week after.
Well, the week after LFR. Because we can't do cinematics
until...
Okay,
then 2 weeks then for the cinematics.
Well, we can do that stuff. There was a lot of really good stuff.
That'll be good, yeah.
This is what happens when I actually do prep, right?
Mm-hmm. And then there's still a whole bunch more stuff that we need to talk about, so, yeah.
There's more stuff we need to talk about?
Yeah, raid-related, cinematic-related.
Oh, you're talking about in the future. Yeah. Got it. Okay. Well, guys... I think it's about that time to start wrapping things up. I intended to have shorter shows, and I lied.
Well, I mean, comparatively, this is still medium. But do you have a can you not? Because I have one, and I'm going to get angry.
Unfortunately, my can you not, I spilled the beans in the PvP tank trinket thing. That was my can you not.
Oh,
I just didn't can you not it, but that was 100% my can you not. Your turn. I did mine. You know what mine is.
So, my can you not is related to, I did 2s, and I got to 1,500. Go me, doing stuff with the randoms. But so I was doing 2s arenas, and it was super fun, and I had a good time. But if you play an assassination rogue in any capacity, I want you to take a step back and literally fuck your own face.
Can you do that? Is that physically possible?
Well, you better make it physically possible, because I hate you with a passion. If I'm in the world and I see you on Assassination Rogue, I don't care who you are, what your name is, I'm going to try and kill you. Because every Assassination Rogue that I played in arenas was a dick. It's so... I don't know if I would consider it broken, but it's so goddamn annoying.
What makes them dickish?
Well, so they are really good at just popping all the cooldowns and either making you pretty much unable to do anything the rest of the arena, or they immediately kill you because there's a demon hunter also in that fucking group. He was a dick. But yeah, fuck you, Pisco.
What do you want them to do differently? Not be an assassination rogue?
Yes, I want them to delete their characters.
So, is it them taking advantage of their class, or?
Oh, 100%. The meta right now is at the lower brackets. It's hard to combat assassination rogues.
That was a good twist there.
No, it wasn't. It was painful. But
yeah, you should be embarrassed.
You know, it was terrible. The amount of poisons and bleeds and everything that stacks up. I was so fucking livid.
Pisk, are you new? Because I kind of would have pegged you for a rogue in general, not necessarily just assassin specific. I kind of have a knack for. I like how I text my husband, can he bring me the cheesecake? Because we're winding down the show, which means I'm going to start. Yeah. So I text him and ask if he can bring me the cheesecake, and he says the whole thing. Yeah, the whole thing. First of all, I could see your judgment through this text message. And second of all, like, it's cheesecake and there's many flavors and I want to sample the flavors.
There's many flavors.
Well, welcome to being new. I'm happy to have you here. Rem's happy to have you here. I think Rem is still... Well, you're not as grumpy as you were when the show first started.
Today's just been...
work.
I'll work on Thursdays. It's just this week's been an interesting week.
Problems with the missus?
No, just deaths and sadness and work.
Debts?
Yeah.
Do you want to trade debts?
No, not debts. Deaths.
Oh, I was gonna say, if you want to trade debts, I'm about to do my taxes again, which is another round of fuck you. You owe the government more money. So it's going to be super fun.
I'll be doing mine this weekend probably. But so my can you not long story short is can you not play assassination rogues, please?
You've been, oh my God, was I supposed to do it? Oh, that thing you guys wanted me to do. Shit. Kawaii, I'm just like.
Yeah, we'll write it down.
I wrote it down. That's the shit part.
Oh.
I wrote it on the notebook. Next week, I treat. Rem will remind me, because Rem's the one that reminded me to change the intro this week, because I was going to forget. iTreat will be working. I don't know what it does, but iTreat. Well, Pisco, I'm glad
that you're... apparently buy treats.
Pisco, I'm glad you're joining in the... I'm glad you're joining in. I'm trying to get more people to watch live so that we could have the discussion driven from chat a little bit more, because I think it's nice to see... different
kind of organic too, yeah.
Yeah, and you get to see different perspectives, and it's fun, and it's fun, and it's fun, and it's even more fun and fun and fun.
It's so fun.
But it's like I don't want tacos. I do want tacos. Oh, I had a fish burrito yesterday because I got tacos yesterday because the husband brought me tacos for my birthday, and I wanted to test their fish tacos, but I wanted to start with something that I would feel less bad about throwing out if it was bad, and that would be a burrito. Wow. So I got their their fish burrito. It was fucking life changing. Actually, it's still in the fridge. I'm gonna go warm it up.
But I mean, a burrito is much bigger than a taco, though.
But I feel bad about throwing tacos away. I don't really feel bad about throwing burritos away.
Wow, I feel personally attacked right now. I feel equally sad throwing either away.
Yeah, I do have cheesecake right here. I have like 10 of them, and well, okay, so my children have been stocking this cheesecake since yesterday, and I told the boys, like, I'm not selfish, except it's my cheesecake. I'm going to need you to just not. So I gave them the cheesecake I didn't really care for, which that's what you do as a parent.
That means all of them?
No, I gave them the like, my least of all the favorites, but...
I'm not a cheesecake fan.
I love cheesecake, like all kinds of cheesecake.
I know.
Just so we're clear, like the cheesecake is the in. So next week, what does the command the color do? Does that do a thing? That's weird.
Oh no, he's talking about for his name. You just have to click your name and go to the settings. Actually, you only have to click your name. You go to the settings of the chat.
I got some people reached out. We were having a conversation with a Hunter on Twitter. Hunter, I just need you to message me in game because the Twitter doesn't translate into the in-game stuff, or message me on Discord because that's if we're trying to get you on the raid team. Yeah, that's how we're gonna have to do that. Which, Rem, what are you gonna be doing on the raid team on Sunday? What's your new role?
I'm doing Shadow Priest.
You're shadowing, huh?
Yeah.
I liked him better as a healer, guys.
I'm more than like, it depends who's going to be healing. I might have to heal. We'll see.
I liked him better as a healer because I didn't have to worry about competing with his damage. Because like it's already pretty great. Like I'm pretty happy with the state of destruction. I'm pretty happy with some of the utility and the power that we've been given. Overall, I'm pretty ecstatic about that. Though, I don't know what destruction looks like in Raid without the Titan Archive.
Yeah, no, that will be... I don't like when they add systems that rely too much on that specific system, because then when you go out of that Raid or you go into a Mythic Plus, it's like ass backwards now.
The good news is, I've done a really good job of... making sure that I stacked the haste on the gear regardless of, that haste buff. I made sure, and I stopped using that gear in general out in the world. So I have a separate, there's 2 pieces that I swap out because it doesn't give me any value using it outside of the raid. So I do swap it out for ones that kind of bring me a little bit more value, whether it's an extra random passive absorb shield, X amount of seconds, or... a buff to my conflagrate, kind of whatever the case may be. My reliance on my blueberry, though, has been less and less. It makes me a little sad.
Why does it make you sad?
Because they nerfed him to the ground, so I don't use him.
Didn't they nerf him, like, in Legion and shit?
Yeah, they've just been steadily. They do that thing where they slowly but slowly start nerfing things thinking people won't notice, and then one day you go to do a thing, and it's... I don't know. I use my puppy anyway because Warmode. The spell lock is... Although the chick, she's... The fuck is her name? The seductress? I don't remember.
The succubus?
Thank you, the succubus. She has her good uses. Which
Yeah, that charm is really nice, yeah.
Succubuses usually have their uses, you know what I'm saying? So, guys, yeah. Well, Shadow Priest, though, I wouldn't necessarily call the Shadow Priest the flavor of the month, because the Shadow Priest has been pretty consistent over the last few expansions, minus a tiny segment in Legion where they may or may not have been unplayable.
More or less.
Do you feel that's inaccurate?
Yeah, no, like pretty much the timeline for Shadow Priest is they're pretty good in Wrath. In Kata, they were shit. In Mist, they were pretty good. In WoD, they were shit. And at the very end, they were okay. And then throughout Legion, they were like a little wave, like they were okay, then good, okay, good. And at the end, they were amazing. And then right now, they were caught in a rut, and then they did the changes, and they're okay right now. So,
yeah.
I mean, I've always played it in some capacity, but I have no problem, like, not playing every flavor of the month, but I have no problem, like, switching up specs or classes.
I never understood the Shadow Priest. The Shadow Priest, really priest healing in general, didn't speak to me in any kind of fashion. There was no, it's like the mage. The mage is very similar to Warlock in a lot of things, but it doesn't, it's like I went full autistic mentally. I don't have that ability, but yet the monk, just all the knowledge of monking comes to me. I'm actually getting a really good handle on balance too for Druid. A little bit.
No, balance is a good one.
I don't know if they fixed because of like a lot of the changes that they've made, because the balance used to feel really clunky. It felt like even the people that knew balance didn't know what they were doing.
Right, I know there was like you have to do 3 Moonfires and what was it, the 3 lunar fucking whatever it was, but when you had to go bounce back on the bar, it was super redundant. Like, yeah.
I don't have balance anyway, so I wouldn't be good playing at a class where you have to have balance as a means of power
Yeah.
because I don't have any chill. It's one way or the other for me. I don't have there's no middle ground in spectrum there, guys. It's there or there. To that end, I am working on clearing my life of all that's going on so that I can get back to doing some stream things because I want to have a more active role there. I have some stuff that I got to get done for Method, but I think I'm going to probably make some solid attempts to stream this weekend. Probably World of Warcraft and some other random games I've been playing. I played a little bit of Lord of the Rings the other day. Wasn't very long because time is not allowed, but I've been kind of just hopping around doing things. But so make sure you watch the World First Race on Method's YouTube channel because things.
The YouTube channel or the Twitch
I mean,
channel?
their fucking Twitch. Watch their Twitch. So I'm working on 2 things right now, and one of those things is in relation to the other things.
That are connected to those other things
Right.
that are on the YouTube.
For the
that are
internet
also
machine
Connected to the Twitch.
and the Googleizer.
And then,
So
yeah, using the Google on the internet machine.
Guys, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for taking time out of your day. I apologize for this extremely long episode. This was very unintended, but I slept, so I'm a little bit more lucid. And I had a whole rock star. I don't usually drink a whole one on show day.
Whoa.
I drink a half a one. So,
yeah. Okay.
I guess I won't be going to bed tonight, guys.
Oh my.
But that is about it. Yeah, I'm gonna go eat my cheesecake and
Yeah.
go do things. I'll have that treat thingamajig up next time, and I'll probably stream. I don't know, maybe tomorrow night. We'll see. We'll see what shakes out. We'll see how I feel. Why is my nose so red, guys? Do you see how red my nose is? Why?
Weren't you just messing with it?
No, I just went like this, but like it's just beet red right now.
Well, yeah, because you pushed down on it.
Whatever. Callie. Hi, Callie. Who else is here that hasn't been talking? Let's see before we go. We'll roll
Callie
credits.
J.O.
I'm going to roll the credits. Hold on. Where's the credits? Find the credits. Hold on. Who do we have in here? There's lots of people that are in here. Nobody said hi.
Wow.
I see you people in here. I see all of you. Why does it say another viewer? That's amazing. Who are you, another viewer? There's some people. Oh, even secrets in this mofo. Okay. I see you. I see you. It's okay. I'm not a talker either. Right, Rem? We're not talkers?
No. Not at all.
Rem, I feel like we need to go to Vegas.
Oh. I've never been to Vegas.
Well, Vegas is dangerous.
Why? Because you get stabbed or because you lose all your money? Or both?
I mean, I don't know. I'm cheap, so I'm about that gross buffet life.
What do you mean gross buffets?
No, buffets are just not intended for human consumption.
No, that's Golden Corral.
That's everybody blowing their nose and wiping their nose and touching the food
That's
and the
just
things.
building up your immunities
Oh,
and
that's
everything.
just gross. Guys, we're going to get out of here. I'm officially going to hit the button. I might have fixed it. Hold on, let's see.
Officially official?
Well, I don't know if I fixed... Oh, wait. Hold on.